let us evaluate the integral of sine cube of x. So, since we are evaluating a sine and its exponent is an odd one, so let us use this trigonometric identity wherein sine squared of x would be equal to 1 minus cosine squared of x. But since what we have here is a sine cube, we need to factor out 1 sine x. So this should be the integral of sine squared x multiplied by the factored out sine of x dx. And so we can transform sine squared of x to this. So this should be the integral of 1 minus cosine squared of x multiplied by sine of x dx. And so next step would be to distribute sine of x to these two. This should be sine of x minus cosine squared of x multiplied by sine of x of dx. And now the next step would be to split this integral into two parts. This would be the first and this would be the second, all multiplied by dx. And so this would be the integral of sine of x dx minus the integral of cosine squared of x sine of x dx. Now, since we can simply integrate this, we will leave that first and let us focus on this second part, the integral of cosine squared of x sine of x. And so, let u here be cosine of x, and taking its derivative, it would be negative sine x dx. And so, taking dx by itself, you would have the value of du over negative sine of x. So by substituting that, this should be the integral of cosine x is u, but since this is cosine squared, this should be u squared multiplied by sine of x and multiply it by the value of dx, which is du over negative sine of x. And so you can see here sine of x would cancel, leaving you with a negative sign, so you can put that in the outside of integral. And so this would be integral of sine of x. This negative and this negative will form a positive integral of u squared multiplied by du. And so you can now integrate this. And so the integral of sine of x, know that the derivative of sine of x would be equal to cosine of x, and the derivative of cosine of x is equal to negative sine of x. And so the reverse can also be the same. The integral of cosine of x is equal to sine of x, and the integral of negative sine of x would be equal to positive cosine of x. But since what we have here is a positive sine of x, and what we have here is a negative, so the integral of a positive sine of x would be equal to negative cosine of x plus the integral of u squared, which is simply u to the power of 3 over 3 plus c. And so, putting u back into its original form, which is cosine of x, your final answer would be negative cosine of x plus 1/3 cosine cube of x plus c.